Alright, so let's start this again because I got pretty much lost and I couldn't find my notes. So now I have my notes, so I think it would be a little bit easier, even though that would be um, kind of messy because I prepared so many notes. Um, so this is going to be a video about my opinion about the show Warrior Nun. So if you haven't seen the show and you don't want to hear spoilers, because I may be saying things that are kind of like um, spoilers, um, don't stop watching right now and go away. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now I can start. So if you stay watching this, then I will assume that you want to hear the spoiler. You don't mind. I personally don't mind. I sometimes search things and I already spoiled before I even go and see a movie or a series. So, but that's up to you. But if you don't want to hear spoilers, then stop watching right now, please. Um, so yeah, so I'm going to be giving my opinion about what you're not. Mostly, I'm going to be talking about the things that I like and the things that I didn't like. I'm not going to do a whole review of the series because there's a bunch of reviews on YouTube. Everybody's doing reviews these days, so just find one that you like and watch it. Um, but that's my opinion. I did like the show, and mostly I like the show because I'm a one. I used to be Catholic, so I'm familiar with the lore that they use in the series, and two, I have played D&D since 1993, and three, I'm a big fan of like science fiction and fantasy, and this series falls into that science fiction fantasy. Um, but there are some specifics that I like about the series. So here we go. So number one thing that I like is about demon hunting. So in this case, it's nuns demon hunting, which makes perfect sense to me. I mean, they're religious, they believe in angels and demons, and they're doing demon hunting. So yeah, and I did like that. So, and the show is similar, although you don't see too much demon hunting. The show is kind of similar to Supernatural, where they do a lot of demon hunting. Diablero, a series in Netflix that I highly recommend if to anybody. An angel. Um, there are scientists that are trying to open portals to a different dimension, whether it's heaven or hell. So yeah, the show has that again. And in Supernatural, there was a finale of season 2 where they open a portal to hell and all the demons escape. And now in season 3, they're trying to hunt the demons down. Um, and Stranger Things, for example, which is another show that I like, they also had they were trying to open a portal to the Upside Down, and then in Angel they mentioned that there are demons that come through portals, so the existence of portals to another dimension is understandable, and in this kind of show, so this show has that too. In this case, there's a scientist that is working to open a portal to a different dimension that she thinks is heaven, but it could be hell most likely, or a parallel world, pretty much. And of course, this fiction based on religious belief about heaven, angels, and all that kind of stuff. So similar to Diablero 2, Diablero also has some portals to heaven in season 2. So yeah, so a few things that I noticed about the show. So number one, there's no Adriel. Adriel is not an angel's name, and but doing research about angels, it could be Adraniel, which was the gatekeeper of the Heaven's Gate, or Radaviel, which is able to create lesser angels. Um, that's something that was interesting in terms of the name choice for the angel, um, but that angel name doesn't exist. So let's assume that real is if it's a demon, it's a demon. But who knows at this point? The series is. I will explain you later what I think about that. But there's mention of the Tahrask demon, but when I search for Tahrask, there's not like a Tahrask demon. The Tahrask um, in Wikipedia, it's a fearsome legendary dragon-like mythological hybrid from Provence, France, and it's supposed to be a dragon with a lion head, 6 short legs, ox-like body, startled shell, and scaly tail that ended in a scorpion sting. So that calling the demon Tahrask doesn't make any sense, but that's what they call one of the demons that they fight. Then there's also the race demons, and the race demons, which is like demons that kind of materialize, but they are kind of like floating around and they can possess people. And but the fact that they use the Tarrasque, it kind of bothered me because being a D&D player, that Tarrasque, let's see the Tarrasque. I'll show you a picture of the Tarrasque. Where is the Tarrasque? Here. Yeah, I got it right here. Here we go. This is the Tarrasque in D&D. Tarrasque. There's this huge, massive thing that you have to fight. It's highly huge. So compared to the size of the demons didn't come up close at that. Also in D&D you have Wraith, which is a type of undead. That's a Wraith. And so when they talk about Wraith demon, okay, I can see that. Okay, I believe that. And you also have angels in D&D, and the angels are they live in the celestial plane, and they are different, and they look like the type of angel of Christianity, close enough. They don't have any halo, that's the same, and even in the series, the halo idea, it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't think that exists. The halo may be a weapon, and when you get to the last episode, you kind of like realize that, oh, it seems that it's a weapon of some kind. Again, the idea of the show is like you have portals, pretty much. Let me see. And like D&D is classic on that. So you have the portal to the material plane, and then you have the Shadowfell, and then you have the Feywild, and then you have other different kind of like places. So in the case of this show, so you imagine Earth. You have hell, you have heaven, and you have purgatory. I mean, only if you are Catholic. If you're not Catholic, then this doesn't exist for you. So it's only heaven or hell. But by the end of the series, I feel like when they reveal like the Adriel arriving towards, and then Tarrasque following, it seems that they came almost from the same plane of existence. So I'm more thinking that it might be something like this. In the idea of the series is Earth, and then you have the other parallel dimension, which is heaven, hell, or whatever it is. And but who knows? And let me see if I can speed up because I got one stuff. So yeah, there's the other thing that I like was the name of the episodes are based after Bible verses, which is pretty amazing. That's really what I like. There's also the characters that I found interesting, and the idea of the Divinium. Adriel was a very interesting character, which people thought it was an angel, and it happened that he was not an angel. He was kind of like, it seems, a demon, or because he could control the race demons at the end of the episode. So I will assume that he was a demon. Camila, Beatrice, Sugar Mary, and then Father Vincent. They were very interesting character, and of course the Warrior Nun, Ava. I'm also glad that the show was not in New York City because some of the shows that I have seen either take place in United States or in big cities like New York City, and I don't like that. At least the setting for this show was Spain, which is quite fantastic because Spain has an amazing architecture, and just the visuals of the show were fantastic, and I enjoy watching the show because of that. The other thing that I noticed in the show was like Lilith, one of the nuns, she got killed by a demon, then she got sucked into a dimension of the Tarrasque, and then she came back again. So you have to wonder what happened to her. And based on the last, so the final episode had a very good plot twist. Like you think, like during the whole series, they're telling you, oh no, it was an angel that get the halo, and we'll be fighting for God, all the kind of stuff. The last episode twists everything, and it appears that it was not an angel that gave the halo; it was the demon Adriel, and then. But then it makes me wonder what the halo really is, especially because of the title of the final episode, which is based on Revelation 2:10, which, if you read the Bible, it says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation for 10 days. Be thou faithful, and unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. So I'm pretty much like, instead of a halo, that might be a crown of some kind, but that crown gives a natural power. And even the Bible talks about different crowns, um, and there are like 5 crowns. I did some research, but I don't remember the name of the crowns from the top of my head. But yeah, there are 5 crowns, and one of the this either could be the crown of immortality or the crown of life, and it could have granted. And it also, when you look at the episode, you notice that Adriel was able to open the portal with the halo or the crown, but then he used it as a weapon to defeat the Taurus demon. Like he used it like a chakram, the weapon that Xena, Warrior Princess, had. So that was quite interesting. Um, yeah, there are different crowns. Like I said, there are the crown of life, the incorruptible crown, the crown of righteousness, the crown of glory, the crown of exaltation or religious, and they can be earned by believers. So the one line that I was interesting was when Lilith, after being possessed, she comes back and she starts fighting the Adriel in the final episode, and she tells him, "What are you but a thief?" So it could be that he was a thief and he stole a crown of immortality from somebody, and that's why um, that's why he um, that's why he came to Earth using the powers of the crown of immortality, which also makes sense because being the crown of immortality or the crown of life when given to a mortal, so makes the person alive, and that's how Eva woke up. So I don't know. Will be interesting to see what they come up with season 2 and the ideas that they have. But that whole series, it left the last episode left a lot of unanswered questions, and they're more about the lore and what's going on. I mean, in Angel and in Supernatural, they explain you the things a bit better, especially when you're there with the kind of demons. In this show, none of that, not too much of that was explained, which I think is a flaw of the show. But other than that, it's a show that I enjoy watching, and it was fun to watch. And hopefully, if they have a season 2, I will be watching that too. Anyway, peace out and enjoy your day.